Airfare is usually one of the most expensive aspects of travel. Even with airline miles and points, it can often be pricey to see multiple cities on a single trip without using up a ton of your points. Hey, how's it going everyone? It's Ernest from TripAstute. In this video, I want to explore a feature from United called the Excursionist perk and discuss how you might want to use it on your next trip to fly further and to more locations. In the past, I've talked about the 2359 rule for stopovers and connections. That process is still valid, but it is complicated. And sometimes you want a bit more time and flexibility to see another city. So today, I want to discuss the United Excursionist perk and how you can use it to save on airfare. Before we get started, if you're new here, welcome to our channel. TripAstute is a travel channel that is focused on sharing ways to make travel easier, affordable, and more enjoyable. Traveling can be stressful and expensive, so we're looking for ways to help you maximize your experience through travel tips, points and miles, and innovative gear. If that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing. The Excursionist perk from United essentially allows you to add a free additional one-way flight to a round-trip award ticket. For example, suppose you want to fly from Los Angeles to Paris, then fly from Paris to London, and then return to Los Angeles from London. The Excursionist perk allows you to do this and makes the middle flight free with the exception of fees and taxes. Now there are some rules that you need to follow. First off, the booking has to be made on one flight plan. This means that in order to activate the Excursionist perk, you have to book this as one multi-flight trip and not as three individual and separate one-way flights. The perk only applies to award bookings, not cash tickets. Your flight must involve at least two regions. The origin and destination of your Excursionist perk flight has to be within the same region, which is defined by United. The award type of the Excursionist perk flight has to be the same as the start and end flights. That means that you can't book a business class flight in the middle unless your starting and ending flights are business class. Lastly, the final destination region must match the origination region. So let's look at United's region map. United has 17 regions listed. Some regions are extremely small and limited, like Hawaii, Mexico, and Japan. However, you'll also notice that other regions are massive and contain a lot of different countries. Understanding this is important when planning your itinerary with the Excursionist perk. For most people, the most simple way to get value from this perk is to book an additional flight within your travel plan. If you're traveling from the mainland US, perhaps an extra city in Europe, South Asia, or even an island hop in Hawaii. There are lots of possibilities with this perk, and you're only limited by where United flies and any fuel charges or fees that you might encounter when booking. In order to book using the Excursionist perk, you want to book directly from the United Airlines website. I recommend logging into your account first, then clicking on Advanced Search. You want to select yes on the Do you want to book a Mileage Plus award ticket question. Then you'll want to select the multi-city option. From there, you just want to specify the destinations you want to fly to, the dates, and the times if you have a preference. You can also specify the number of connections, though I would leave all options selected in case your destination has limited award seat availability. You'll then select flights that you want. Keep in mind that points listed are for each leg. So in this case, you'll see that I'm looking at an award saver flight of 30,000 points and fee of $5.60 to fly from Los Angeles to Paris. Once I select my flight, I'm then shown the middle flight. You'll notice that the award miles needed for this flight is 0. This is the Excursionist perk being applied to your itinerary. Once I select this flight, I'll then be shown the final flight and can complete the booking. It's that simple, and since United is a travel partner with Chase, you can transfer Chase Ultimate Award points to them if you have a premium Chase travel card like the Sapphire Preferred, Sapphire Reserve, or Ink Business Preferred. It's really a great way to see more places without having to pay for another full price flight. For most people, this is probably how you'll use the perk. But then, there might be a few of you that noticed a bit of ambiguity in the wording of the rules. Specifically, you might have noticed that the origin and destination of your Excursionist perk flight has to be within the same region, but it doesn't specify that it has to be in the same region as your starting and ending flight. Also, the final destination region must match the origination region. However, the entire US mainland is one region, which means that you could end your flight in a completely different US city. This lack of specificity allows you to plan trips in the future by mixing flights within different itineraries. I could use this perk to book 3 unrelated flights as my multi-city itinerary as long as they follow the rules. For example, suppose I planned to visit New York in September and February, but I also plan to be in Paris in November for work. I could book an itinerary where I'm flying from Los Angeles to New York, then Paris to London, then Los Angeles to New York again. The middle flight still shows 0 miles. This is because we are still following all the rules. Since Los Angeles and New York are in the same region, we are meeting the requirements of starting and ending a flight in the same region. The middle flight needs to be between two cities of the same region, and the itinerary has to involve two regions. I will add a few caveats with this strategy and approach though. For one, you would need to have planned out your flights way in advance, which can be hard with work schedules and commitments. In order to maximize this approach, you would need to have a large gap between your starting and final flights, since your middle flight would need to occur between the two. That also means that if you were to have a change in your flight plan, you will be looking at potentially multiple bookings to edit, which means a lot of change fees. Plus, if your trip spanned multiple flight plans using this perk, you might not have many options if your flight is canceled or delayed during your trip. So there is inherent risk with mixing and matching flights in your flight plan. I don't know if I would go too crazy with this approach. The option is there for those of you with aggressive travel planning and could be a very lucrative way to book a future flight using this perk. However, I know that in my experience, life can be unpredictable, especially when traveling. While this option can save you money, it does limit your options in case your travel plans change or is interrupted. For most people, the simple way of just adding another stop on your travel plan is probably going to be extremely valuable in itself. But again, for those of you who have mapped out your travels for the entire year, this could be an easy way to score some free award flights, even if you have to pay the taxes and fees. If you do decide to go this route, here are some things to keep in mind. Number one, there is no mileage or segment limitation. As long as your middle flight is within the same region, it doesn't matter how long the flight is or even if there's a long stopover. This means that you could layer in long stopovers or even see more places. On that note, number two, focus on larger regions for more value. You'll probably get the most value from your middle flights on ones within a large geographic region. Areas like mainland US, Europe, Africa, South Asia, and Australia and New Zealand might be ones to look at if you have any trips planned in those regions. However, even if it's not the best value, you could get an island-to-island flight in Hawaii if you happen to be flying there with United. While it's great to maximize the value of the middle flight, don't underestimate the experience that might be gained even from a short and inexpensive middle flight. Number three, clear your browser cookies. If you're searching for different flights on the United website, you might eventually find that the site seems to crash or show no availability. If this happens to you, I recommend clearing your cookies in your browser. After I did it, the site seemed to work like normal again. Number four, consider the United Explorer card. While it's not my favorite card to use, the reason I have and keep my United Explorer card is that it does give me a free check bag, priority boarding, and more importantly, additional award seat availability. If you have this card, you'll actually see more available award seats on flights. Again, I still prefer to use my Chase Sapphire Reserve when booking my flights. However, having the United Explorer card has helped me with finding additional award flight options, so it's worth considering if you plan to use this perk a lot. Have you tried using the United Excursionist perk? Have you been able to score some amazing middle flights? Also, let us know if you have any additional tips or questions. If you're interested in applying for a credit card, we would love it if you used our link in the video description or on our website. It's an easy way to support our channel, especially if you found our content to be valuable and helpful. Also, if you need help with picking the right credit card or developing a card strategy, sign up for our free card consultation service. You basically fill out a questionnaire and schedule a 15-minute video or audio call with me to review your recommendation. As always, we hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. If so, please give us a thumbs up and consider sharing the video with others. It really helps us with growing our channel and community. Until next time, travel safe and travel smart.